Leo. Welcome to your June 2025 message of the month. Hi, guys. My name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel medium and law of attraction expert. And if you want to meet your own spirit guide, I'll put a link in the comments for a free meditation to take you on a journey to Temple of the Masters so that you can meet them. So look out for that. Okay, let me get an overall. You're going through a rewrite of the topic of love and money. The world card's your outcome, so it's gonna be a little sneaky peek. So you're coming full circle on a karmic cycle, and it's that like money isn't as important as you thought it was in terms of love, and it kind of looks like it's that growth of like in your love life of where on resume on paper this should work on resume. They meet all the check boxes. I meet all the check boxes. This should work. This should be a great relationship. But you're kind of starting to recognize that, like, whatever your checklist, it makes a lot of money, good career, lots of ambition, says they like this. You're starting to recognize that, like, that checklist means nothing. And that it's really more about, like, love and the connection. And, like, the love and, like, the emotional safety and the emotional enjoyment of your time when you're with them. Not on like, I guess not on the glitz and the glamour, not on my babe is a 7-figure business owner, but does she go home and like ignore you? That's where you're like, okay, maybe the little honey bunny who only makes like, I don't know, 40K a year, she's sweet and loves me and cuddles me and loves cooking for me and just thinks I'm the greatest. Like you're kind of just starting to like, you know, okay. Yeah, in terms of your theme for this month, yeah. So this is like your core theme. It's really about you, Leo, you definitely really like assertive people with clear communication. And you're starting to like now see the difference though between someone who is nurturing, loving, assertive and clear, and someone who's like confident, full of themselves, exaggerates a little bit. It's kind of like the person who their actions don't match their words. They come across like shinier, more glitz and glamour. They have the better resume. So you're really just learning how to like tell someone's character. They at a core are a kind, loving, caring person. They're not saying I'm a kind, loving, caring person, but based on their actions, they're a kind, caring, loving person versus the person who's like, oh, I'm kind, I'm caring, I just went to charity this weekend, I just donated this. But like, when their friend needs a ride to the airport, they're like, they could take Uber, or like, or when you're communicating your emotional need, the other person will be like, oh, well, how can I help you? Well, I just wanted to call because I was concerned about you. I wanted to check in, see how you were. Whereas, like, the confident person is like, okay, man up. Okay, what are you going to do to solve about it? Or like, okay, call me when you feel better. Call me when you want to, you're just really starting to recognize the difference between someone's character, their trait, versus someone who just talks. Gosh, and you are really, Leo, going through a phase where you are really prioritizing feeling emotionally safe, feeling emotionally received, feeling like that emotional enjoyment when you're around someone. And it's kind of like you're like, all right, I wanted the person where we could like go out to eat at those nice restaurants every day and get that $1 million home. But you know what? I'm okay if we go out to eat once or twice a week and maybe we got like the $500,000 home because I know when I'm home, I'm loved. If you're a girl, cherished and adored. If you're a man, respected and admired. And it's like you're like, I really just want to enjoy my home life. You're definitely going through like that growth. Oh, sorry. It looks like in your recent past there was a disappointment. It does look like it was in your love life. You're gonna make it out okay. Yeah. Okay, interesting. There was a recent disappointment in your love life. What I can tell you is that it was just a huge it was a miscommunication, but not a miscommunication of like a talking conversation you had with the other person. It was a misperception And like, what's coming to mind right now, it's kind of like maybe you made, maybe it was a grand gesture, maybe it was just a gesture of like coming lovingly towards someone and they had a pause. You perceived that as like rejection, but that pause for them was probably more of a, oh, they need that on Saturday. Okay, what do I got to get done? What do I have to do? Do I have time to do that? Actually, I don't. Maybe I could rearrange this, and then so I could help them today and do my stuff tomorrow. Can I get all my stuff done tomorrow? So they were like thinking in their head if they could like do it, but you took that pause as as like a rejection. So it was a misperception that led to some, not like a blow up, but led to misperception, led to miscommunication, and now it just looks like there's a stalemate, a stallmate between the two of you. Not a stalemate, but like a, well, I guess it's over. They said this, like, yeah, Um, okay, but so the advice and you know, it kind of looks like, how do I say it? Mm, you're learning how to not be so harsh and quick to judge, and also quick to needing them to be like a perfect, like adoring mother. Um, this might be that mother wound. I think it's when you're the age of 3, you're going through the unconditional love phase, and that's where if you're mad, mom goes, "Oh, are you mad because you got to put the toys away?" I understand, but she still hugs you. Or when you're really happy, "Oh, are you happy because you won? Oh, yay!" It's like whatever emotion you show up with, your mom lovingly receives you. If you don't get that, you tend to be very like very sensitive to rejection when you're older in life, um, and you're also very quick to, what, they didn't call back within 20 minutes, they must not like me, well, I'm putting my energy elsewhere, and then you go create elsewhere, and then we talk to the person, you're like, you thought you rejected me, I rejected you, like, so you're kind of learning to like get out of that phase of life. So it does look like you got to release some judgments you hold about this person, and like just have some compassion for like what they're going through, maybe, like, and that's one big thing I can tell you guys when I coach my clients into more loving relationships. It's always like, okay, so here's the issue, we solved it on my client's end, and I always tell them, hey, you got to communicate this to your partner, but then you have to be okay that they might need a day, 2 or 3, maybe even up to a week, if the person's like a full-time working person and then you guys have kids when you come home, like, you gotta let them like ponder this on their end. It's not just like a, okay, well, since we decided friends, now this. You gotta give the other person time to process their emotions around things and think of potential solutions on their ends, so that then you guys can come back. So it's kind of like you're learning to manage that mean time between a gesture and offer and their coming back. Because definitely your lesson here is you gotta let go of that needing that quick, of course, of course, of course, because that's just the mom wound. And you gotta ask yourself, are you going to continue down the trauma path, or are you going to start paving the new path, which is a self soothing, whew, of course I feel nervous right now. Of course I feel off balance. I just did a huge step towards them and I hate rejection. I feel so like nervous and awkward waiting for them, but I'm just giving them time, and like one tip I give my business clients, which I definitely think will help you right now in your love department, is I tell them to create a smile file, especially if they're a service based entrepreneur. It's like, get screenshot every nice comment you've gotten or every email. So if you're ever having moments of doubt of like, who am I, imposter syndrome, am I good, am I worth this money, you go look at that smile file again. So you can write a list of like, they were there for me at this time. They were there for me here. They did this sweet thing for me that I didn't have to ask for. They lovingly communicated this. That way you can like not need them to be 100% perfect all the time, but it can be a, they are there for me 70, 80, 90% of the time. I could give them the room to breathe. Because one thing that like in spirit is saying to say this is that you got to think about the other person's point of view. Like, having that sensitivity, which is understandable because it's trauma, the mom wound, all that stuff, So have love and compassion for yourself, but you got to understand the other person's point of view is like, wait, so I have to be perfect all the time? I never get to have my own doubts and insecurities. When you had your doubts, I like held space for you. I listened to you. I said, well, take your time to make your decision. Um, it's like, wait, so I have to like jump at every request you make or you don't feel loved? Like that puts pressure on that person to that puts pressure on a person. Okay, in terms of right now, well, there's a desire to communicate with the person. Ooh, you have a desire to communicate with the person. I would strongly encourage you to check yourself. Like, what's your reason for reaching out? Because it looks like right now, um, sorry, let me go back a little. It's not over between you and the person. It's not 100% going to be reconciliation. There's still a lot of love there. So it's not like it's the potential for you and that person are still there, okay? So that's why in the right now, it look just check yourself for why you're reaching out. Are you reaching out to connect? Or are you reaching out for attention? Are you reaching out to connect and say, "Hey, I'm genuinely curious how you're doing. I'm genuinely I would, our last conversation didn't go so well, so I wanted to reach out to like just extend some friendship to you." Or like I don't know what happened between you guys, but it's like a hey, our last conversation, I just kind of got a little worried for you. You were talking about all this you were going through, so I just wanted to check in on you. And, sorry I can't be there for you every day, but I just wanted to like lend an ear. How's it going? That's an outreach for connection, and that's what builds couples, whether it's a romantic or just a good friendship together. It's like, yeah, I'm just reaching out to connect with you, see how you're doing, listen to your day, check in on last time you said XYZ. I wanted to check in. How did that work out for you? Man, and sometimes just listening is a gift. It's like, man, well, I wish I had more advice for you, but, I think you're amazing. You're going to figure it out. Like, sometimes that's enough. It definitely looks like this person, though, High Priestess, they might be a spiritual person, like me. They're definitely hard to read on your end, though. And it's because this person has a lot of emotional self containment and a lot of emotional resilience. Like, they face disappointments, hurts, and sadness before, so they're like, okay, fine, this is sad. You don't want to be with me anymore? Okay, I'm going to move on. So it's like, from your point of view, they're hard to read because things don't emotionally rattle this person that well or that easily. Yeah, this person is really wanting good, deep, long lasting relationships, friendships, love. Like they're really focused on building a strong community, the people that you go on vacations with, the people that you integrate with on like a day to day, the people that you like go hiking with. And like, obviously you can be more than one role for a person in their life, but they are just really focused on long lasting relationships. That's why this person would be really good for you to interact with. I do kind of think that it's either going to turn into a love relationship between you two or it's going to be nothing. Like there's a slight chance for friendship, but it won't be like an up close and personal friendship. If you want an up close and personal relationship with the person, it's going to be a love relationship. So okay, back to the connection versus attention. Like if you're just calling to I want to see if they still like me so I can get them back later, check yourself. That's about attention, not about connection. That's about I'm just calling to see if you can meet my need. That's not a genuine outreach of like a yeah, things I was a little confused about the last phone call didn't end as well as I would have liked, and I know I would like you in my life. I like you in my life, your friendship, your companionship, your words of wisdom. So I'm just outreaching to hopefully extend that bridge. You know what I mean? Like, do you see how that's different? That can also give you the information of are they open to reconciliation? Are they not? But you're calling out to genuinely connect versus just about seeing if like your need could get met. So just reevaluate why you're reaching out. There is encouragement for communication, like playful type of communication, not like a serious talk about are we getting back together? Are we going to get together? It's not, it's more like a approach it with a place of like playful, I wanted to touch base with you. I wanted to see how you were doing. Are you navigating it okay? Is there any way I could support and help you? And then of course, like obviously talk about yourself. It's both, but it's just make sure because it kind of looks like that's a little bit of why the other person held back a little. It seems like they were just never sure on your intentions, and not intentions for like where is this going, but it's like your intentions for, are they in this just for themselves, just for the attention and validation they're getting? Are they in this because like they generally like me and they like hanging out with me, and like they do, like, is this just a short-term need, like just when they need connection they reach out, or is this like a no, we're going to be there for each other? So it kind of sounds like the person had that little bit of a doubt. Going into the near future, you got some peaceful happiness and contentment in your life. You've got playful energies around you, good friendship, good companionship, potentially love as well. Um, there's gonna be like peace and content made between like the main person we've been talking about, and it's gonna like help relieve you so that you're like, all right, they're just a cool person. We just have a good kind of vibe, good communication. Like, okay, like we're gonna be good. Um, the spirit's saying really loudly, as long as you approach the conversation in a good way. If you call just for attention or validation, that person's gonna be like not done with you, but like I'm not getting on this phone call with you right now. You're calling for selfish reasons. You're not calling to connect and see how I am. So just if you do it the right way, a lot of peace, content, and happiness is going to be between the two of you. The potential for love will be there, but like you're just going to feel more rest assured. Like, okay, I know how to develop long term relationships now. I know about ebbs and flows. I know about like catch and release. What I can say though is, I don't know if this is other people in your life that you're, with, or if this is just a general advice for you. And that is, you gotta like not be so quick to like to kick people out of your lives, because that's an approach of evaluating every single interaction as if it's the whole relationship. Well, they did this, that's it, they're out, they're toxic. But what if the 9 times before that it was genuine loving, genuine caring, because it kind of looks like there's a little bit of an emotional upset for you. And you were like, you know what, you're messing my mental health, you're out. But like, that's why I'm telling you to do that smile file. And if you do that smile file, like in this month, 9 positive interactions, 1 negative. This month, 8 positive, 2 negative. This month, 10 out of 10 positive. This month, 7 were negative, 3 were bad. Well, I wonder what was going on in their life. Oh, they had a death in the family? Okay, I could see why they're a little grumpier. So, like, you got to learn to evaluate the relationship as a whole instead of each little teeny tiny interaction. And a little bit of that, why you're quick to cut people out, is because it looks like you're very quick to open up and make the person feel like the center of the universe, the all loving thing. And so you like open up, they feel like a goddess or whatever, and then you like retreat. Like, it, so it's really learning about like a lot of relationship is about like emotional stability and like being there, and that they know that if I have bad news I can come call and tell you, if I have good news I can come call and tell you. If you're like in and out, I'm a busy person, I've got other responsibilities, if they don't know that they can rely on you, right? You might get someone in a trauma bond. That's not a real relationship though. Come on now. It's not. It sucks. You can either continue to choose relationships that are similar from your past trauma, or you can like learn to start leaning towards the new. Um, yeah, good luck with all that, Leo. Let's see how it's going to plan out for you. So your personal power this month, your personal power this month is, even though you got all this like going on with a little bit more of a stable person, maybe stable person, maybe someone who's been in your life a little bit more continued length of time. um, right. So you got that person. Looks like you got some other people in your energy that doesn't look like it's going that well with them. Um, but again, your lesson is to not like jump in and act like it's relationshipy from the get go. It's like learning how to pace connection and closeness. Because I don't think you're aware of how relationshipy you come across. And then the other person is like, okay, I guess it's relationshipy. And then you're like, when you pull back, you're like, what? I just met you. And they're like, Right, but you were acting as if we were 3 months in. That's kind of where some of the confusion comes in between you and the other people. Gosh, this is so weird. I'm also hearing like that's why sometimes you think they're chasing you when they're like not, because they're like, oh, I thought we were at this level. We're not. Like, okay, guess we're not. Okay, so in terms of your personal power this month, there is a little sense of happiness that you're learning how to craft for yourself. It looks like it's minor because these other players in your life that are minor characters, they're a huge distraction for you. The other main the major more stable person, but there's a little bit that you're starting to do for yourself, and it's almost as if you're starting to realize like I can be okay on my own. Um and like you don't need that like attention validation every single time you go out. You're like you know what, I just wanted to go to the gym today and get a good workout. I just wanted to go to the rock climbing gym and get a really good rock climbing session and see if I could get past that one thing. So it's kind of like your intention for why you're going out is going to shift from needing this like admiration from people and like attention, and it's going to shift to I'm actually going to the rock climbing gym because I want to see if I can get past that hard part again. So if someone like hits on you or flirts on you, it's going to be like, oh yeah, hey, hi, I'm here. I just need to get through that, and then I'm going home. And like it will hit a point too where like your energy is going to speak louder than your words. So it's going to be like a more commitment to a more fulfilled, satisfying life. Like that's what all the random people in your life are teaching you, that it's like a whoa, this used to be fun for me. That's no longer fun for me. You know what I did like though? I like getting more technical skills while rock climbing. And it kind of looks like your motivation for like, just say you lift weights at a gym. I want to lift this heavy because I know it's something that will like impress the girls. Now your motivation is gonna be more like, I just want to see if I can like safely and healthily build up to that weight again. Okay, in terms of outside influences around you, well, what I can say, this is more the energy of the like the random people in your life. It's like they're glorifying you and you're realizing that that's meaningless. And it's almost like that moment where you're like, "Oh, they just like that on resume. I meet their resume for what they think is a good partner or a good friend, but we don't actually vibe. We don't actually have compatibility. We don't actually have good communication or an emotional connection." So they're like, "Oh, you're so great. Come over. Let's be together. Why wouldn't you want to be together? You're great." But you're gonna start to realize that like, yeah, it's just you're just gonna have this awareness of like someone who's genuine and genuinely wants to be in your life and who adds like value and their character is just good versus someone who's just like glorifying you. I meet their resume for what they think is a good person type of a thing. Um, okay, in terms of your hopes or fears, well, you don't want to walk away from that person who's a little bit more long standing in your life. And your fear is if you get happy on your own, that they won't come back. That's interesting. That's when they do come back. When you like, well, this person doesn't have that chase energy or that toxic energy in them. It's more when you get happy, that's when things go well in your life and things come back. And it's kind of like, in manifesting law of attraction. Sometimes when people, when you're a little kid, you have to demonstrate to your parents how bad you want something. You either have to show how bad you want it by wanting it for a long time consistently, because no parent wants to buy their kid like an expensive toy and they play with it for 5 minutes and that's it. They're like, I bought you that $100 toy last week and you played with it for 5 minutes and tossed it away. I need to make sure that you really like it. So you have to show that like continual enthusiasm for a long period of time, or you have to show how much pain you're in without having it. And then they'll buy it for you, right? So that's like one kind of growth from like youth to like adult is when you recognize it's about becoming a vibrational match for what you want. So you getting happy, learning how to be like peaceful and content on your own while enjoying that you have steady connection there without like, oh, see, I'm happy on my own. Let me send them a little snapshot, see if they reply. Okay, I'm happy now they replied. That's about attention, not about connection. So you're going to go through this growth of like, okay, I can have an evening to myself and have a good time. And I now just recognize that I would prefer to share my evening with someone. That's about connection and genuine relationship. So, anyway, your fear is just the happier, the more I'm leaning into getting happy on my own and building like a stable life for myself, I'm just afraid that that person won't think I need them or they need me. Um, let's see, clarifying card. Oh, don't even worry about that though. It's just going to make you more of a balanced partner to be able to show, like, when you guys interact in a more meaningful way again, I don't think it's going to be this next conversation that you're going to have. I think it's just a little bit further off than that. This is an interesting read, Leo. Comment below, man. This is a very detailed, very specific read. This is blowing my mind. Um, so when like it's like when you guys get a chance to connect again, it's gonna feel more balanced. It's like they're gonna feel your presence there, and that you're there to genuinely connect, genuinely hang out, genuinely build like a memory, a shared experience, versus like are they just here for like attention, or like something to do? And your outcome is the world. So yeah, this month is just like a crazy month for you, Leo. It's coming full circle of like genuine connection versus frivolous, fleeting attention. Um, but the world means the cycle is complete, so you're gonna learn it. It's gonna be good for you. Sneakity peek, universe, for what's coming up after the lesson. What? Oh, life won't feel so. Relationships won't feel like so much conflict to you after this. You won't be part of people who have competing goals. So you're going to move towards. And you're not going to need as much alone time to recharge because you're just going to be hanging out with people who have similar goals and similar interests. Yeah, okay. That great read, Leo. Good. It's gonna be a lot of emotions you got to sort through until the end, but the outcome's really good. All right, I'll put a link to the free meditation to be your spirit guide in the comments. And I go live Monday through Thursday right here on YouTube for free at 11 a.m. Eastern time with free mini reads. Next week I'm taking a fishing trip, and I don't think I'm gonna have reception. I'm gonna be out in the middle of a lake fishing. So, with the exception of next week, I do that show Monday through Thursday. Lots of love, guys. Bye.